Hello, dear Virgos. It's me, your tarot reader, Angelica. Today's reading is for March 2025. The reading's on the channel Tarot and Life. So, dear Virgos, let's get started. Getting ready for March 2025? Well then, let's take a look. March 2025 for you, dear Virgos. Let's look at the important events. The first important event for you in March 2025. The second and the third significant important event for you in March 2025. Next, let's see what awaits you. In your professional activities in March, we'll also look at what your income will be like in March 2025. And let's see what perhaps awaits you in your personal life in March. And what to pay attention to in terms of health. And a piece of advice from the cards, a suggestion or a warning for you for March. Let's begin. The first important event for you here is the Ace of Wands. The second important event is the Hanged Man. And the third important event is the Ace of Cups. Here, I would say that in March there will be a situation that will get stuck. And for a long time, although why long, it won't be resolved for some time. It can be different with a Hanged Man. Sometimes it gets stuck for an entire month, and other times it might just hang there for a few days. Why do I start with the Hanged Man? Because let's say this card is at the center, which means it indicates that some kind of crisis situation related to the Hanged Man will be very relevant for you. But as they say, it will really hit home and you'll need to address it. You will definitely resolve it. And it can play out as sacrifice. The Hanged Man is often seen as a victim, and then it's the sacrifice that you need for your further spiritual and personal growth, which often involves letting go of things you need to let go of, like old views, old values, or old relationships, or people who are no longer relevant to you. In other words, to let go of something. This card can also indicate that for a certain situation, whether it's a relationship with someone, a job, or your ideas and projects, you need to look at it from a different perspective. Reevaluate those values that have been important to you for a long time. But in March 2025, you'll realize that this no longer holds value for you. It doesn't matter anymore and you'll be letting go of it. Also keep in mind that there will be an eclipse corridor in March, and this eclipse corridor will have a strong impact on the lives of many people. And these will be changes, quite possibly very radical ones. And perhaps these changes will force you to reevaluate either your entire life or a specific situation. It will be difficult, but it's necessary. Meditation and prayer can help make it easier to get through this crisis related to the Hanged Man. Or, if you know how to enter trance states, then in those trance states, there can also be a way to work through this problem. Overall, if we talk about events, the Hanged Man speaks of some kind of stagnant situation, or a pause in something, a situation again, or that it feels like you're facing limitations on your possibilities. There may be some forced stops. You want to actively promote something, but you keep running into obstacles and are forced to wait. So you could say that there's a feeling in a certain situation or under certain circumstances, as if you've been tied up hand and foot and you're wasting your time. So you're making some sacrifices. Well, for example, you sacrifice your time, and in this case, that time is wasted. Could this play out for you? It's a time to pay off debts. Maybe like some failures. Well, the best thing you can do with the Hanged Man is to start some kind of learning process. Webinars, training sessions, signing up for some courses. Then this card will play out as a sacrifice that you make in the name. of your development, your personal growth, and then this sacrifice, this time that you spend on your learning, then the energy of the Hanged Man will be played out as well as possible for you. But keep in mind, you have two aces, two incredibly powerful aces that are, let's say, will brighten up any crisis situations. First of all, you definitely have here, there will be opportunities to resolve these crisis situations and get out of them quite easily. The Ace of Wands gives incredible strength and energy, and the Ace of Wands represents determination. So I think that the Hanged Man will recoup little, and perhaps even recoup. It's exactly like the time you spend on your development. Because the cards here are very powerful, well, they don't really fit next to the Hanged Man issue. So I think that's how it is. And the Ace of Wands, it says that there will be this kind of, atmosphere, some kind of heat, unbridled fun. The acceleration of all processes just doesn't quite fit together. Here, there's an acceleration of processes, and here, there's a pause. Perhaps you will be the one doing development, training, thinking about something. Maybe these will be like plans of some sort. And then there will be a huge realization. The Wands represent a whirlwind of events. This is a postcard of incredible activity. So this is the activation of all your processes and the whirlwind of growth and development. Maybe it will be some kind of crisis situation that will end, and you will still be extremely active. You will implement your ideas because the Aces and Wands are still ideas. This is an impulse. These are some new beginnings. This may be a flash of passion because, by the way, you also have the Ace of Cups, and cups are just about feelings, about love. It's a lot of communication with the opposite sex. There's a very strong interest, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And by the way, this card can also play out together with the Ace of Cups, like some kind of big noisy celebration that you will be a part of. Regarding relationships, we haven't revealed the card yet, so I got a bit ahead of myself. We'll talk about relationships here when we know what the cards are saying. Next, the Ace of Cups. As a rule, as an important event, it's some emotionally significant new acquaintance for you. Maybe it will pay off for someone, but again, getting ahead of myself, I don't know what's on the cards here. Maybe it will play out, but let's reveal it first, because then we can talk more specifically and in detail. Well, yes. In general, yes. Here, most likely in March, there will be new acquaintances, noisy parties, and an emotional involvement in romantic relationships. This is the Ace of Cups, which speaks of, for someone, it could be conception or the birth of a child. Here in your relationships, you have the Lovers, which is, of course, love. For some, this might play out as returning to their hometown, connecting with loved ones, and that's related to the Ace of Cups. For some, it might manifest as abundance, and this abundance can be in terms of feelings, finances, or work. It's about productivity, especially with such strong energy coming from the Ace of Wands. And of course, ultimately, the most important meaning is about the chance to find your happiness, to find your love. The Ace of Cups represents love, joy, a fullness of feelings and pleasure. And of course, as I mentioned, all the aces are gifts. So it's some kind of unexpected gift, but a gift that will specifically relate to emotions and feelings. So generally, this is still about new love. Sometimes the Ace of Cups speaks about the fulfillment of a desire, but in any case, the card will stir you up, and it will stir you up quite a bit. All right, let's move on. There might be some new acquaintance that will possibly stir you up both emotionally and quite intensely. In terms of passion, because this is also a very strong passion. Wow, look at how your cards are coming out. The Lovers. 2 cards in love and even close to each other. This is very important because when 2 cards appear in the same spread, it's like they're shouting, pay attention to us. Focus on the energy of this card. So the Lovers in a professional context can indicate that you'll be faced with a choice. This crisis situation might potentially involve an offer to work in pairs because the Lovers often discuss working in partnership and collaboration. It might be a new beginning in the form of a business, a new idea that leads you to start something new with someone, maybe with your relatives, whether it's a business or a hobby that you can monetize. This card also indicates that in terms of work you might be looking for support from your partners or colleagues. but don't rely solely on yourself. It's really about the idea that in a pair you can achieve more. Remember, when it comes to the lovers, you can't accomplish much on your own. There can also be different options here. Some options for solving certain problems, or you might switch to a different job, or some very good opportunities will open up. This card can also just play out for someone like, in March, for some reason your favorite work stands out, because there's harmony here, everything is good, productive. That means you'll have a good relationship with your team, successful interactions with other people, partners, clients, and management. So it can play out that way. So basically, according to the lovers, this is a month that brings you joy in your work. It's what you love, what you do with pleasure, what you enjoy. All right, let's see if this will somehow reflect on your finances. The 10 of Swords, I think on this, will mostly play out as a job change, a shift in the direction of your professional activity. Because notice that at the bottom of the deck here is the 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords speaks of completion. The completion of one, let's say, cycle of your life and opening new opportunities. And there are dozens of swords. Don't be afraid, she doesn't always play out negatively. For the most part, it indicates that a certain period, let's say an unfavorable one, is coming to an end. Especially since you have such powerful cards here. I think opportunities will open up here, and you'll be faced with choices regarding a change in position or a job change. And here we have the 10 of Swords. Rather, it will play out in such a way that, and it ends, well, let's say you are earning little, you move to another job, or you are offered some position and it's yours. Your financial situation is changing drastically. This period of low earnings is coming to an end, and another opportunity is opening up. Why do I think so? Well, because the Emperor at the bottom signifies a high position, career growth, and authority. Indicates work in a large organization. And also, if, for example, you dreamed of changing jobs at the bottom of the deck, here is the Eraser of Cups. It's like going back to the past and realizing those dreams and desires in the present, already having certain experience for it. So I think that with the 10 of Swords, this card will play out for you as the completion of a certain stage in your finances, right? So as I mentioned, it's about transitioning to a new job. It's quite possible that if you're transitioning to a new job or moving somewhere according to the 10 of Swords, there might be temporary financial constraints. Exactly. Was it temporary? Because you have very powerful cards here showing new beginnings, gifts, and opportunities. Everything that brings joy and energizes you. So it's quite likely that the Hanged Man will play out for a certain period if you're transitioning to another job or moving to another city or country. This will be related to your earnings and it will be temporary. And then in front of you opens up. It's a very good perspective. It will make you happy and impress you. But in any case, even now, remember that you shouldn't spend too much. Save your resources. By the way, this card can also play out, for example, when money goes towards repairs or moving. So there are these temporary difficulties when a lot is spent on repairs, because it doesn't necessarily mean that there's no money. It could be that the money being spent is for something important and valuable to you. You might also be paying off debts in March, by the way. Maybe you have, for example, a car loan, right? And in March, you refinance that loan and also get insurance that goes with the loan, right? In this case, you pay a large sum of money up front, and temporarily you might find yourself short on cash. And so the situation kind of hangs in terms of finances. Most likely this will play out as a small crisis phase when money will be tight. Either you'll pay off debts or something else. But as I said, the most important word regarding the 10 of Swords is temporarily. Next, let's take a look at love and personal life. Well, it's immediately clear that this is love coming into your life, especially with such powerful aces here. And for those in a relationship, this card indicates that there is a lot of love. The love you give each other, the love you enjoy, this is love, sincere and mutual. This is love sent to you from the heavens. It's like looking in the same direction and feeling each other from a distance. There's a lot of sensual attraction, a lot of enjoyment with each other. For those who are not in a relationship, the card indicates that a new love, a new acquaintance, a new person will enter your life. It doesn't matter. Whether men or women are watching, the card plays out the same way. And this love, it's like the calling of your heart. It's sincere love. It's mutual. It's a person who, again, as I say, is sent to you from the heavens, from angels. This is your soulmate, truly. And these are very strong feelings. Let's take a look at what you should pay attention to regarding your health. Here is the Three of Wands, and 3. The Wand says that you have good health, which means you are in a state of well-being and free from illness. And you have both moral strength, which is the ability to do what is right and just, and physical strength, meaning your body is strong and resilient, will withstand any, let's say, crisis moments or challenging situations that may arise here. Again, moments, pay attention. Your entire layout is incredibly positive. So, when health is also shown to be good, strong, with no shocks, it indicates that it's not really a crisis situation. There may be some temporary financial difficulties, or some situation might be on hold for a while. You will handle everything and resolve it all. As I said, it's very good. You have a positive reading? Next, here's your advice. For March 2025, the recipient is Akli, and he says that a trip will take place. It's quite likely that the trip will be related to money. Maybe, as I mentioned to you, you'll be paying off debts. You might be going to another country, for example, for a different job. This is exactly what will be related to those delays, waiting for something, waiting for a result. So, you arrive, for example, in another country to apply for a job because the Knight of Pentacles usually indicates a trip related to money or work. And you're waiting to receive your first paycheck. Yeah, it might play out like that. There might be some other options here, but what comes up with the Knight of Pentacles in the spread already indicates that there will be some kind of trip, either a business trip or issues related to work or money. And the advice for you for March 2025 regarding the Knight of Pentacles is to address your issues gradually, calmly, without getting anxious, step by step. Those pressing matters that you'll have in March, show patience. Remember that patience and hard work will overcome everything. There won't be any problems here because the Knight of Pentacles is not about problems at all. And also the most important thing is to try, to keep your feet on the ground, not to take what you wish for as reality. Knight of Pentacles, he is as realistic as possible. Don't fantasize too much, but rather take more action. Well, here is another piece of advice. This is, of course, to work a lot, to put in maximum effort for results, to bring what you started to the result. And of course, be very precise, be punctual in everything. But the most important thing is that the Knight of Pentacles is very slow. We have a knight here, so don't rush the results. No matter how hard you push your horses, because you have such a huge energy here, such momentum, you want to do everything faster. But the advice of this card is don't rush. On the contrary, spend more time on the things and issues that are important to you, and do everything thoroughly and responsibly. And make sure to do it as well as you can, and also persistently pursue your goals. For you, the Knight of Pentacles is a card of benefit. There will be goals and there will be results. Moreover, you will receive a real material result that will bring you joy and fill you with happiness. So that's the forecast for you, dear Virgos, for March 2025. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, as always, on the Tarot Life channel. With love, your Angelica, hugging you, and goodbye for now.